to do a video on meta stock analysis, and we got a daily chart of meta on here for you, and it's got a blue 200-day moving average. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to show you an hourly, a daily, and a weekly chart, and then we're going to look at some algorithmically generated prices in a minute. So let's take a look at meta. As we discussed before, meta is a complete disaster. It sold off hard, and it's hard to see, but it came down here. Let me expand it a little bit. If I can get these charts to work. It came down really hard, put a huge gap in here, and then the company announced huge layoffs. I don't get involved in the fundamentals, but the amount of layoffs he's talking about doing is absolutely enormous, and it looks like it's moving the stock a little bit. I knew he would come up with something, but from a fundamental perspective, as soon as you get into the fundamentals, if you're following the technical analysis of it, the fundamentals can muddy it up real quick. At the end of the day, this stock's in a bear market, a horrible bear market, and the fact that they're stepping up and doing something about it's important, but you have to see the charts reflect that. This chart, obviously, it's not, to be fair to them, it's not really enough time, but this stock's was hugely oversold. So any rally today would have probably happened regardless. On a company this big, you just don't keep falling forever. You get distributions of prices like this. This is a distribution of losses is what this is across here. People are they're just sharing the losses, and then after there's no one else willing to buy, it goes down again, and they distribute more losses as people buy and forth, back and forth, and so forth. So when you see a stock just continuously making new lows but doing it in an orderly fashion, that's just classic distribution of a huge stock. And so this has to get back to being a stock that's not being distributed, and I don't see that yet. It's too soon. I'm not being critical, but if we take a look at the weekly chart, we can easily see what's going on. This is just a stock that's in a horrible position. 200-week moving average, 20-week moving average, 5-week moving average, and made a new low last week. So you can see this is just a falling knife. This rally this week is 100% expected, and even if it comes up here to 109, it's trading right now at $103. Even if it gets up here to 109, that's 100% expected. When you put in a low all the way down here at $88, it is a great rally. Don't get me wrong, but you're catching a falling knife, so you got to be really careful. All of my opinion for entertainment purposes only. So the weekly chart shows the true story. What's it going to take to get Meta back on track? You got to close above the 5-week moving average, get some support under the stock, and then rally and close above the 20-week moving average. It has not closed above the 20-week moving average, as best I can tell, looking real quick, all the way back here since September of 2021. The red line's the 20-week moving average. So Meta's got a lot of work to do. That's all the way up here to 145. There's a ton of money to be made in here, and I'm not recommending anybody buy this stock, but it's a ton of money to be made in here, but at some point it becomes a trader stock. If we take a look at this chart, this is an hourly chart. This blue line's a 200 hour. Here's the last time it had a reasonable description of being above it, and that's September 12th. You can see it had a little false breakthrough here, and then he sold the heck out of it. That was the day that they really just massacred this stock. This, to regain momentum to the upside, this has a ton of backing and filling it's got to do. I'm trying to find, it won't let me go back much further here. I'm trying to find where this, where's a good example to show you. This is all backing and filling, all establishing a base, and you see that the 200 hour goes flat. Once you get enough people in here and establishing a base, then the sellers give way and you start to get rallies. And then you can see, you step ladder. It's a very, this is not an elegant looking stock. This is an hourly chart, but you can see how some buyers took some profits and some sellers jumped in. Some buyers took some profits and some sellers jumped in. And you have to establish that to expect to go, to put in a decent rally. Keep in mind, this is an hourly chart. You can't get conservative buyers to step in here. So Meta has to work its way around here. It's got to put in some good solid, and not like this. It's got to be more trended up. And the 200 hour moving average has got to go flat down here so that you can attract conservative money, because that's what it's going to take to push this stock back up. You're going to have a long time of conservative money to reestablish a base in this stock. Again, not being negative, but just saying this is a daily chart, and you're not going to attract conservative money on that stock right this second. You got to work it, and that's going to take a while. So let's take a look and see what Meta looks like. We call it Facebook on rbandresearch.com's algorithmically generated entry prices, and we've got 0 across the board here today. We have 1, 5, and 20-day holds, but we do have a lot of other prices in our regular 190 stock portfolios that we cover every day, 100 plus stocks. These are 1, 5, 20-day holds. You can see Apple shows 0 across the board. That means don't buy them today, according to the algorithm. But there's a lot of other stocks in here, General Electric, American Airlines, and so forth, that have entry prices. You can get access to all of them every morning. before 7 a.m. at rbamresearch.com. You can get a free trial, absolutely free, no credit card required. Follow the link in the description below. Go over to RBAM Research, put in your email address, and get instant access to 190 stocks, the major forex pairs, BTC crypto, and the most liquid futures contracts, all updated by 7 a.m. Keep in mind, everything you've seen and heard on here is for entertainment purposes only. Can't use our entry prices or analysis for anything but entertainment. You should always do your own analysis, and you definitely trade at your own risk. If you have a ticker symbol you'd like us to do an analysis on and put up a video, please leave it in the comment section below. If it's a good one, if it's a big enough one that has interest, we'll consider doing it for you. And if you like this video, please click the like button. If you want to subscribe, please do that as well.